I don't know what
Because
we're talking about today.
we're talking about multiplayer shit.
Multiplayer shit.
Yeah. Well, we can kind of talk about the history of it. Kind of like you like go from like it's more or less like on that nostalgia thing that we did with the N64, the PlayStation, and like we can just approach it from a nostalgia type of deal.
Well, yeah, because if we're doing multiplayer, we got to start at fucking Atari. Work our way up from Atari.
I mean, it started from 2 players to 4 players to 8 players because I
Back
think,
in ancient times when we played Atari and
and
everybody
also
was obsessed with Pong.
everybody had a dial. It wasn't a joystick; it was a dial and a
Right.
button.
You
One
had to
dial.
spin the dial as fast as you could to get the ball from one side to the other side.
It was
I'm going from like weird, like Southern man to Morgan Freeman,
yes. Or
like old
well,
timey man to Morgan Freeman.
yeah. On that note, welcome to Why So Nerdy. That's right. Welcome to Why So Nerdy, guys. We are here. We are doing a
Well,
really late
today
night,
we're going to talk about some multiplayer.
some multiplayer things. This is like I think feel like this is the latest we've ever recorded this podcast.
Yeah. Didn't we do a 3 o'clock one once?
I think we did something like really late at night.
I don't think we record. I think that was the live stream. We did a let's play or something.
Yeah, we did a let's play and we streamed it. Yeah,
I think that's what it was. Yeah.
Well, that ran to what, like 6 o'clock or something in the morning?
Oh yeah. It was late.
It was a long time. Long time.
Well, shit. I didn't notice it's almost 3.
Yeah, it's close.
Doesn't really matter anyway.
I was gonna say it's close, man.
We were supposed to start at 1. We ran our mouths for too long.
Well, that and then everybody in my house is either hurting or about to die at some point. So we're just out here.
Aren't we all though?
Huh?
Aren't we all?
Yeah. Well,
hurting and about to die.
That's true. That's very true.
Not to keep getting off topic, but I watched an interview with Stevo the other day for fucking Hot Ones.
Did you? Oh, I haven't watched it yet. Don't tell me anything. Don't say anything.
Oh, but I have to give you the little tidbit though. It got super weirdly deep at one point.
Did it?
Yeah, I'll leave it at that. But like, Stevo's not exactly a man of deep thought.
Well,
but he said some really deep shit, and I was like, "Damn, Stevo."
Yeah, that's Stevo for you. That is Stevo for you.
Out of anybody, I didn't expect that. Fucking, that's the guy who put his dick in a snake cage, and
also the guy that he started like fireworks up his butt and all kind of stuff.
Yes, yeah, just butt stuff.
Great fun butt stuff. What's that we do? Him and Chris Pontius. I still immortalize Chris Pontius because he had one of the greatest skits of all time. Party Boy. All right.
Party Boy.
Yes, I'm telling you. All right. So today we're back on topic. Today we're talking about multiplayer. It's kind of a nostalgic thing. We talked about the 64, and the 64 had the 4-player, games that came out for it. We talked about PlayStation, where PlayStation had PlayStation Online, but it was only in Japan at the time. Remember that?
Was it?
No, it was like at the very end.
For 2. Yeah, PlayStation 2 must have had it.
Yeah, PlayStation 2 had online, but it was at like the very end of the life, and then that's when we had PS3, that horrible system. Yeah,
I didn't buy one. I dodged that bullet.
It was a shitty system. Like I don't think PS3 is a great system. That's just me. I might catch a lot of flack from everybody else, but that's just how I feel about that.
They had a lot of great games.
They did.
Yeah. System wise, I would agree. Just didn't go over well. But of course, then Xbox One came out, and you had to fucking download all your games too. So they really adopted the problem of the PlayStation 3.
They really did. Well, and then the big thing was they tried to do the whole online thing. That threw a whole curveball into Microsoft. Microsoft had the edge and could have kept going until they did the whole online only thing. It was a big ordeal. So
mistakes were made.
Hey, well, that guy got fired, and then now Phil Spencer is the is the head of Xbox, and he's doing wonderful things. That man is doing wonderful things.
That Game Pass has been great,
dude. I'm telling you, it's open. I'll give you this: it's opened up a lot of more like games to play with other friends. Like I know one thing me and you talk about all the time is getting on Game Pass to find new games to play with.
Just weird new games. Yeah.
Well, Deep Rock Galactic, remember that's like one of the hardest.
Rock and Stone.
Bro, it is one of the hardest, easiest games to download. But
I
yeah,
love that game.
that game's so great. So great. So we're gonna start back. We're gonna rewind here, and we're gonna talk about our kind of first intros to how we got into multiplayer, and then we'll kind of go into the history of multiplayer. That's kind of how we'll schedule it out today. And start from where we started, and then just kind of go forward. I know. Yeah.
Really
I mean,
digging back into the memory banks. We're gonna have the same problem as we did when I did the wrestling podcast. I'll be like, I don't think I did that. And then I'm like, oh no, I did love wrestling.
That's exactly how it works.
God, dude, the more I listen to our podcast and the more I listen to like my thought process, I swear I really do think I have Alzheimer's. I do.
I
like,
mean,
I wipe my memory of old ages and like.
No, I mean, if you don't talk about it for forever, then you just
maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, that's what it is. You just don't really realize that it's in your brain until you hit that point. So,
yeah.
So, Mike, what would you?
I was like, I don't know wrestling. Fucking, Bam Bam Bigelow, fucking listing off like old school fucking wrestlers.
And then the next thing was like Yokozuna.
Maybe I do know all this stuff.
Yokozuna.
Yokozuna. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Just one more time before we jump back in. The greatest move of all time in WWE, which I am convinced is the ass cheek slam. Well, whoever had an ass cheek slam move was great.
that was Yokozuna, and then Rikishi rubbed his face.
Rub his ass all in your face.
Mm-hmm,
all right, with Scotty 2 Hotty and Grandmaster Sexay. Remember, say it right. Say, not sexy, Sexay.
Ah, the worm.
Bro, it was the greatest thing ever.
Oh my god.
All right, so I'll let you start us off, man. What was your earliest system that you got to play with somebody else?
Oh god. Like, are we talking like pass the controller type of multiplayer? Are we talking like sit down?
We're talking like same time. Full couch co-op, like you guys were battling out.
What? Couch co-op. It would have to be what, Street Fighter? No, that was Versus, so it wasn't really couch co-op. What, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I guess, would be the couch co-op intro.
On Nintendo or Super Nintendo?
Yeah, the Nintendo, like the rough. Or no, wait, was that the multiplayer one where it was the arcade version?
Yeah, it was the arcade. Well, the arcade version. The arcade version was like a full-on arcade experience, but like the actual game on Nintendo was like the over the top. And the turtles were real small. Like when you went into the world, you would walk around, and then when it came into it, it would be the turtles.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't play that one. No.
Yeah, I think that was Turtles in Time too.
Yeah, Turtles in Time was the one. That was the multiplayer one, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a multiplayer one. And you smack people with a pizza.
Shit. Yeah, and the Fly guy. Whoever he was, I'll never remember all those bad guys.
The only one I remember is Rocksteady, because Rocksteady is one that's always talking.
Bebop and Rocksteady were solid characters, yeah.
Well, and then Shredder. I mean, those are the ones that I remember the most.
I think that was like my earlier ones, but yeah, because that was on Nintendo. What else was multiplayer at that time? I don't know.
So you had
like shit. I even played Pong.
Did you play Pong? Jesus Christ. See,
I was poor, so like my mom had like a retro system. Like, I played Pong with her a few times before we got rid of it.
That was awesome. I mean, I didn't have that. We had an Atari and a ColecoVision.
Asteroid. I was a beast at Asteroid.
Dude, ColecoVision. When you play Pong on that, and Atari, there wasn't a whole bunch of games for Atari and ColecoVision. Now that I think about it, there were multiplayer. There were a few. Well, not a whole bunch.
No, Nintendo shortly came out after what? I don't even think it was a few years after that. And it came out and just destroyed both those systems.
Yeah, they shot on both of them, and basically they started the era. I feel like Nintendo was the thing that started the era.
Atari had a lot of games though.
Well, they had a lot of games, but they also had ET. So we're just gonna
never forget the landfill.
We're just not gonna. We're just not gonna go into that because they fucked up. They fucked all the way up.
I mean, that other than past the controller games, because I mean that would be like Mario and shit like that, like very first games I played. But
well, I mean there were different forms of multiplayer. It was like you get together with your friends and you all beat a game together, or you had couch co-op, or you had your fighting games where you versus somebody, or you had like your racing games where you went to get somebody. Like Mario Kart, I think most of my early moments, I remember playing on Nintendo, and the big game for me that I really fell in love with that I could play with other people was Double Dragon.
Double Dragon. Oh man, yeah.
Double Dragon 2. Double Dragon 2.
What was that? Was that even before that? That was before Turtles, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was before Turtles. I believe.
I think weirdly enough, I may have played.
I think it was a launch title. Like the first one was a launch title for the Nintendo. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember because you could throw the knife, right?
Yeah, you could throw the knife. And then you had the old school like frocks. It wasn't really like a fro, but it was more or less like a Marge that you would walk around with Billy and Jimmy.
Oh, yeah. I miss. Speaking of Marge, fucking Simpsons game, arcade game, one of the best games ever made.
Yes. Yep. Fantastic.
I will always put a bunch of money into that machine when I go to the arcade.
Yeah, that one, the X-Men was really cool. X-Men arcade game. I love that one. That was amazing.
Oh yeah, those were big ones.
Yeah, those are really big ones.
Yeah, those are like right after. Yeah, because didn't they go on to Super Nintendo?
Yeah, now a lot of those went to Super Nintendo and Sega. Because you had
after they were quarter eaters.
Well, that and then it became like the Age of Fighting. That's when you had like the Marvel versus Street Fighter versus X-Men, Marvel Children of the Atom, X-Men versus it was like X-Men.
They made like 17 of those co-op X-Men games.
Yeah, it's like 17 co-op X-Men. I know X-Men had one by themselves. Marvel.
The one that was really good was that you could be Nightcrawler. That one was badass.
That one was
Children of the Atom.
That was Children of the Atom. Children of the
Atom.
I
remember that one the most.
Such a good game. I feel like that's the only. To me, I feel like that's the only full Marvel Capcom game that has ever been made. If I believe right.
Think so?
I think so.
No, your guess is way better than mine. I don't even.
I'm gonna look that up, and I'm gonna come back to that on the next episode. But I believe Children of the Atom is one of the only like full Marvel games in that era that was made for that.
Like system. Produced by Marvel? Is that what you're saying?
No, it was produced by Capcom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think it was produced by Capcom. They just had the rights and they were like, "We got you, bro. We're gonna make you a game." And
that was back when you could like go, "Hey, we're gonna make this type of game." And they're like, "Yeah, cool. Don't worry about it."
Yeah. Now Disney's like, "Hey, you make this game, you have to put everybody from the MCU and fuck it up." I'm so mad. You don't know.
You do now.
The rage. No. You don't know the rage I had when they put out Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. I was like, "What the fuck is this? What is this?"
It's awful.
It's a shitty game. It's fun to play. Like if you're bored, I'll give you this. If you're bored and you just want to corner smash somebody, it's a great game to play.
I've only played it like once. It didn't have anybody I wanted. It didn't have Magneto or anybody in it. I was like,
yeah. Well, they try to add like some characters that everybody requested for the DLC. Like Black Panther is actually really good in that game. Like if you play with him,
he was in there.
He's fantastic. Black Panther, Winter Soldier, Black Widow.
Did they put Magneto in there yet?
No, man. They don't even support the game anymore. So
clearly, I'm going to go on record saying that Disney apparently has problems with Holocaust survivors and Jews. So
there you go.
Look, see that bad press, Disney.
That's right. We're defending you guys. But yeah, I think the earliest for me was kind of like it was Double Dragon, Mario, Street Fighter. Like Street Fighter is a staple.
Mario doesn't count because that was past the controller multiplayer.
Well, I mean Mario.
That was definitely my first game ever.
Yeah, I can say the old school ones were, but like when you got into like the newer age with like 64 and stuff like that, like we had Mario Party, which isn't technically a Mario game. It's more or less it is a Mario game, but it's not a Mario game.
Yeah, that changed the whole game. Fucking those Mario Party games were amazing. I'd say like between what? All right, so like revolutionary games that started really in 64 really had a lot of revolutionary games like that. Yeah. So it was what 007 huge first person.
You can still get this Circle Strafe till today. I'm not playing, Mike. You keep telling me Perfect Dark is better, but you can get this and go.
Perfect Dark was better.
Whatever. But go ahead.
What? So that really revolutionized multiplayer. So Mario Party was great for like sit down. It was like a interactive board game which, like I said, same thing. Changed the whole fucking game for multiplayer games.
Well, I think a lot of the first party, it was like Mario Tennis, Mario Golf, like.
Yeah, but those were all like, like versus like that. That was like legit sit down board game that you could interact with. And I thought that was a really interesting twist on everything. Like those games still fucking, I love those games. We have the newest one. It's amazing.
Yeah.
See, if the controllers weren't a fucking $1 million a pop, we would play it all the time.
Well, see, and that's what me and my buddy Steven, who we need to have on the podcast. I'll talk more about that later.
Yeah, he needs to get your fucking game thing so we can play Diablo.
Okay, all right. But yeah, we always play that. That's the one thing we play is Mario Party. We just play that all the time. That and Mario Kart. The Mario Kart's one of the big ones because Mario Kart was the king of shit talk. Like you would talk the most shit playing Mario Kart.
I would smack both y'all in some Mario Party and some Mario.
You don't want this. Look, there are
all day,
bro. There are some real battles in his household when we play Mario Kart. I don't have my Switch anymore, but
there's no battles. There's no battles. There's Mike sitting in the victory cart with Waluigi going wah.
You know what? You keep talking shit. I'll go buy one right now. I'll go get one right now. You dirty motherfucker. All right. But yeah,
me and Cardi B, we have one thing in common. We both give the whack.
Oh, okay. whack ass playing. Whack ass playing. But yes. So like, I think for us, the N64 is more the general like system that we got our big multiplayer for because it was crazy that you could just plug up 4 controllers.
That was really the huge one. It was like what Super Nintendo did it with 4 controllers. But then I feel like I didn't actually, because I feel like Super Nintendo was around that time to where I couldn't afford things like that.
Yeah.
N64 was more towards like, the middle school, like my family could afford better things around that time.
Yeah. Well, we had a Super Nintendo, but my thing was like we played Sega, believe it or not, more than we played the Super Nintendo. So we had a Super Nintendo and a Sega at one point.
Yeah.
And I loved more of the Sega games. So I played like Vector Man and Sonic and I like Street Fighter on Super Nintendo. I did not like it on Sega, but I like Mortal Kombat on Sega and didn't like it on Super Nintendo. You see what I'm saying? Because like I had friends that had it on Super Nintendo, and I always thought it was whack because they took all the blood out. You couldn't really do the moves. The fatalities weren't like as crazy as it was on Sega.
Really? I thought it was on. That was the other way around. I thought it was more carnage on N64 or not N64, Nintendo.
No. It was the Sega version had more carnage because that was the one that showed the blood, and then Super Nintendo because they didn't want to like cross boundaries because it's a family friendly console. They took all the stuff out.
That does sound like a Nintendo move. You're right. It's a very Nintendo thing. Of course, now they're putting fucking porn games on Switch. So I mean.
Oh, dude, yeah, I was on the Switch one time and like looking at the store, and I was like, "What is this?"
Just stumbled upon these porn.
Well,
games.
No. Oh, it's story time, guys. All right, so I downloaded one and
accidentally, totally.
No. There was a demo, and I thought I was like, I wonder if this is like an RPG because I was like, I just want to see what it is. Like, I just want to see it. Like, I just want to see what happens. And like, sure enough, like I was giving relationship advice and like making dates, and I was like, you know what? This is just not my
rotate speed. Right analog stick to move the right boobie. Analog stick for left booby.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean,
have you ever seen like? All right, there was a video a long time ago. Speaking of multiplayer games, I guarantee some of these are multiplayer. There were like history of porn games. The whole YouTube video about it, and it starts at Atari. And they are. You need to look up the video because it's literally like a 2D, like not even. You can't even call it a woman. It was a flesh-colored blob with nipples.
Wow, that's crazy. That's
amazing.
Crazy.
I was like, beating your meat knows no bounds. It really doesn't. If it's shaped like a titty, or like even if it resembles some kind of orifice and or body part, you're just like, Yeah, I could probably jerk it to that.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm a
You,
circle jerk
you,
all night long.
are you old enough to remember fuzzy porn time?
I don't. I do
Oh, that
not.
was
You
before
know
your
what?
time. I'm old enough.
I have no
I'm old
clue.
enough. Yeah, I remember those days. God only knows what kind of elbows I've jerked it to that I thought was a titty
Well,
on HBO Max.
wow.
You're just
Well, I
like
mean, what
fuzzy.
game back in the day that everybody used to play that used to be a like a game that was really big? I think it was Leisure Suit Larry, where you could just like take it to the
Yes,
strip club.
That was a PC. Yeah, Leisure Suit Larry. I don't think ever had any nudity. Weirdly enough.
Yeah, but it was raunchy.
It was. It was very. It was. Well, it would be like the strip tease version of anything else.
Yeah.
I love how we went from multiplayer games to porn games. You're welcome, boys and girls.
You jumped right into it, and I was like,
It's my fault. It's 100% my fault.
I'm gonna let him go.
I don't even remember what brought me to that. We talked about something, and I was like, Atari boobs.
well, you know, one game that is a multiplayer game that everybody liked that was on Xbox. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
The guy game. So you're talking about?
No, not the guy game. It's a boob physics. Think about boob physics.
Oh, DOA.
Yeah.
Is that weird that all you have to say is boob physics and I know exactly what you're talking about?
Yeah, DOA, Extreme Beach Volleyball.
Yeah,
I'm
man, let me tell you, that game really set a bar for women that they can't live up to.
I tell you what, like if it's not a DOA game and they don't have very good boob physics, it's just not. It's just not.
And I don't want realistic boob physics. I want like she sneezed and those things took off like a rocket. Like, I want black eyes. That's the type of bounce I'm looking for.
Yeah. Well, no, I was playing Cold Vein the other day, and that's an MMO. So I didn't know Cold Vein is an MMO. So I was playing that the other day, and
see, there you go. It ties in, guys. We're on topic. You're welcome.
There you go. So I was playing that, and like the characters made, like the man characters and the female characters, like just everywhere. They just have floppy, spinning Rooney, like Booker T boobs. It's just crazy.
I need a vote. Like, all right, so people listening, I have to know if there's any female listeners. God forbid, I'm sorry for everything. Number one, but number two,
this is all just jokes. We love
need to know.
We're all about body positivity, but it's just kind of I don't know what happened with video games. There was a point in time where it was just like boobs, and then like that was it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's everything. Well, because they knew their audience. Listen, we knew that mostly guys were playing at the time. But a women core did come out. But anyway, I do have to know for our female listeners, did you think your boobs were wrong because they didn't bounce like DOA? I have to know. There has to be one woman out there that thinks her boobs were broken because they didn't jiggle off her body like fucking, solo rockets.
I mean, there's tons of cosplays that are inspired by those characters nowadays.
Did they think that their titties were wrong? They're like, mine don't do that. Like, because if me being younger, if fucking dick physics were flying around, like all of a sudden you ran towards someone, it was like a helicopter running towards you. I'd be
you can thank Conan for that one because Conan
the Barbarian game, they did do that.
They did do that.
That's a newer one though.
Yeah.
We're just getting in dick physics.
Yeah,
it's a new physics type.
It's coming. Somebody's gonna have a helicopter at some point. So.
I want the same problems. We're all about equality here at Why So Nerdy. I want the same problem. I want him to run and like it gets tangled somewhere, and he has to untangle it around his neck because he was jogging.
All right. Let's backtrack and hop back on topic.
It could be multiplayer. He could get help with getting it around his neck.
I mean, Cyberpunk is a multiplayer game, and you can walk around with the hugest package that you ever had. So
we're switching topics. Hey, in Cyberpunk, you could have 2 dicks.
Can you really?
Yes, you sure can.
Well, I'm not highly disturbed by that. I'm actually pleasantly surprised by that.
I would love to do a playthrough.
Yeah, we should do that. We should do that.
I feel like
that's if they fix it though on consoles, because
it'd be even better because I love how broken it is.
Well, it'll run. I hate to say this, guys. I'm sorry, but I have an S, so it'll probably run pretty good for me. But like, if you have like just the OG Xbox One.
Listen,
Then
Bill rubbing his big money in here.
I'm not trying to rub it in anybody's face. I'm just saying, like,
you guys can't see it right now, but he's like wiping the sweat off his brow with a $100 bill. He needs to stop.
Hey, you know what? When people lose a Monopoly, that's what I do. I just wipe my tears with my cash.
We have been on like a 20. It had to be a 20-minute tangent.
Yes, it's a tangent.
You're welcome to the porn section of West.
Yeah. So we're going to rewind back, and then we were talking about N64, talking about the multiplayer games there.
I can't wait to listen back and figure out what the fuck led us down this rabbit hole. I don't remember.
I don't know. It's great though. It did still tie into all multiplayer games. We talked about multiple games: DOA, Cold Vein, Leisure Suit Larry. Like all those games were in.
Leisure Suit Larry was only multiplayer because you and your horny ass friends tried around and tried to figure out where you could see a titty at.
Pretty much. That's
the only multiplayer aspect of that game.
Yeah, that was the only part of it. But still, like you had multiplayer games kind of come out for different audiences as well. You know what I'm saying? So like there was a time where
I'm sorry for that. I had to move the microphone.
Oh, you're fine. There was a time where like there were different types of multiplayer push for let's pull this audience here, let's expand this and pull this in there. Mm-hmm. We had for a time we had a big like fighting. Like when we talk about multiplayer, we can't forget that there was a whole arcade age of just fighting games like that. That was a staple. MVP.
I thought we were doing co-op though.
Well, I mean, we're doing a little bit of everything. So it's a little bit of all
peppering column A and column B.
Yeah, column A. So like even your versus co-op or multiplayers, like we would have. So like you talk about X-Men, where like X-Men, yes, you had the co-op, but then they came out later on with all the fighting games. So like X-Men versus Street Fighter. Like I said, MVC.
One of the first ever co-op / versus games was Double Dragon also, where they fought for the girl at the end of the game.
That's very true. Yes. And a lot of people don't. And you know what's crazy? A lot of people don't know that fact.
Really?
Yeah. A lot of people don't know. Unless you're older and you've played that, a lot of people do not realize that, like, at the end of that game, you fight each other.
What's worse is that you fight each other to the death because you see his brother's jacket hanging up in his closet. Like, oh, fucking geez. Like, I killed him and took his shit.
Yeah.
Like, that's such a fucked up
This is my girl. All right. My chick.
Back in the day where men killed each other for women. It still happens, I guess.
I mean, it's a scary thing, but it's the truth. It's definitely the truth. But yeah, so you know, I want to talk about MVC for a little bit. I feel like we should do a podcast on just those two games, or like just Marvel's Capcom the entire series. Because those games
that would absolutely have to be carried by you. I was not a very big Marvel vs. Capcom.
I was a huge fan because those games started a bunch of tournaments, like you're fighting tournaments. Like even though Street Fighter has been around for years and years and years and years, and Evo wasn't a thing, you know, back in the day. Evo was kind of founded and started when like Marvel vs. Capcom.
I would say Street Fighter.
It was like Street Fighter 4, 3.
No, it was 3. Whatever the remix or whatever it was, whatever the weird thing was, because that was one of the big tournaments that really started competitive play.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like those type of multiplayer games pushed this whole like span of an audience where there was a whole fighting community. Now that we have all these competitions that we can enter in, mind you, fun fact: did you know MVC Infinite tried to do like the Battle of the Power Gems? Like, have you heard about that? Go look it up. So they try to set up a tournament when they dropped MVC Infinite, where like if the winner won, he won a stone, and the stone gave him certain powers as he went through the tournament. It was the dumbest thing ever, but you should check it out. I'm not going to go into detail, but it was stupid.
I thought you were talking about like me as a person. If I was fighting on that game, they would send me a stone for winning a tournament. I was like, I could get into that. That's really cool.
No. It was like an Evo tournament, but they stones in the tournament. But the stones gave you like certain like abilities, like you could skip around, you could do this, you could do that.
Man, they missed an opportunity, didn't they? Fucking, if they would have actually made a good game, they could have definitely done that as like.
They could have changed the world, man.
They could have did tournaments where they're like, if you win, you get a stone.
Well, you know, fighters for a long time in that aspect didn't go to tournaments for a while. Like they ended up pulling fighters for a long time. A lot of people thought that it was gonna be like a thing where people were like, oh shit, we're gonna just watch fighters go down and it's gonna be fantastic. People are gonna get shot in the face with Kamehamehas, and they were like, no. It was like for like first 3 years too, like the first first 2 or 3 years.
Fighter Z,
yeah, Fighter Z.
That's a really good game. Yeah,
it is a fantastic game. Fantastic game.
Smack you on that game.
You don't want these hands. Don't. We
Didn't we already play each other and I beat you?
You beat me, but I beat you. It was like a back and forth.
I'll have to replay that. We'll have to do it live.
Get
on the record.
You know what? I got a camera here. Look, I owe you an ass whooping in Mario Kart, and I owe you an ass whooping in that again.
I'm down.
Yeah. See, don't do it. Don't talk shit. But anyway, so like that actually spanned a whole fighting community out of that. So we can thank multiplayer for that, because if it wasn't for versus multiplayer games and like the history of that being kind of a thing, then we wouldn't have what we have now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like it's really cool because like even with multiplayer games, like the pass controller type games like Mario, like what was another game that was a pass controller game? I didn't have a whole lot of those. But
oh god, there were so many. Fucking
Sonic.
We used to do it with everything though. Like any solo game, as soon as you died, we used to have a rule like fucking you die, you pass. You know, fucking there'd be like 6 of us in a room, fucking passing around a controller all day playing a game. We did it with what was it? It wasn't Final Fantasy. Do you remember the N64 game where you were the ninja, but you could change different characters?
Mystical Ninja?
Yes. Yeah. We played that multiplayer. Me and my buddies in fucking Vegas were passing the controller around for that game.
Yeah. See, I played what was like all the Star Foxes were kind of a pass to the controller type.
Yes, very much so. Yeah, that was very quick, streamlined death.
Yeah, like Star Fox 64. That was just a here you go,
golden game.
Man, there.
I just you know what there was games. We used to get real in depth with like fighter games and racing games. We'd get real, and you had to pick a character.
Yeah.
And if you lost, like you'd get say there's like 20 characters in the game. There's 4 of us. Each of us are taking, or there's 5 of us. So each of us take 4 characters, right? Fucking if you lose that character. Wow. Your boy owns that character now. Whoever won that game. Yeah, so it was like race for pinks type of deal. We'd get fucking real.
Ridge Racer. Remember Ridge Racer 64? Because everybody wanted to pick. It was like the red car. It was like the Lambo that was on the front of the cover. Everybody wanted to pick the Lambo. So like the key is if you picked that car and you lost, you couldn't pick it until you won another race again. And actually were like, all right, well, I get to pick first. I get to pick this car first. You know what I'm saying?
See, I've realized a pattern in my life. Every time everybody wanted one of the characters in the game, I would go find what they thought was the worst character and I'd kick the fuck out of them with it. Yeah. Yeah. That was always my thing.
You won't be surprised how many times I've beat a person with Dan.
Dan's just I'm too good at this game character, man.
Like if you know how to use Dan, he's actually really, really, really good.
He just makes me feel bad about myself when I lose to him. Like he's the Hercule of Street Fighter. Yes,
Street Fighter, 100%. But like when you get your ass beat and he hits you with the Tatsumaki with the fake Hadouken, and then he turns around and like hits you. What is it's the jump shoryuken?
I don't even remember.
He's got an infinite combo where like it starts off. He hits you. He does the like the flex punch, and then he hits you with a Hadouken. He hits you with the Tatsumaki, and then he hits you with the shoryuken. And it's like a one combo that takes all your health. It leaves you with like maybe a hit left.
Damn.
Yeah.
Straight up fucking Luigi combo.
Yeah.
For Smash Bros.
Straight out. And you're just like, well, shit. So yeah, I've done that to a lot of people. I've pissed off a lot of people, and it's really fun.
Oh, speaking of which, that was another N64 game that was revolutionary for multiplayer.
What was it?
Smash Bros.
Smash Bros. Yeah.
Smash Bros. Was a huge game changer. That was the survival multiplayer versus fighting game.
Well,
where it wasn't about a health bar. It was about knocking the character out of the fucking ring.
That's all you cared about too, was like, I'm gonna get you up high enough to where I can just smash this button and smack you across the stage.
There's nothing better than whooping somebody's ass while you're at 300 health, though.
Yeah. Well, and then like I said, that also has spawned a whole community Like now we have all Smash Bros. Smash Bros. To me is like one of the biggest communities that we have nowadays.
I used to be part of that. I used to fucking go to there was a place in Louisville called Things to Do. I'd go up there and play tournaments all the time.
They have them all the time now at Hideaway Saloon.
Ooh,
yeah.
I got on the other day. They added a new character, and I was like, oh hey, I'm gonna go on check it out. I'm gonna download the new character. I got the season pass. You know, I used to play nonstop. I got on the other day. I fucking suck now. Oh my god,
dude!
I'm still good. Like as in like I could beat my friends.
Yeah.
Which is nothing to brag about, but like getting on fucking online and playing some, because I was on once you play so much, you get on. It's called Elite Smash, which is like the higher tier fighters, and like I still had characters on Elite Smash. And I was like, oh hey, yeah, that'd be fun. Fucking let's go test my metal, dude. Stomped. Into the ground stomped, like no chance stomped. And you've played me in Smash, bro. You understand what level I was playing at.
Look, you know what? There has been points where I've played Mike in Smash Bros. And want to throw my controller because it's like I don't understand how this is happening.
I'm sorry. It's one of the games I'm really good at, and that's the weird part. Like I am low tier now. And that is the level. Like I can't even play Elite Smash right now. I got my ass beat so bad the other day. I can't get my characters back on Elite Smash because I got my ass beat so bad.
That's fucking crazy. I mean, was you I just just thought about another like pass the controller game. Did you play a lot of Crash Bandicoot back in the day and like Spyro?
Yes, so much. Like yeah, those were big ones. Yes, I can't believe we missed that one.
Yeah, so those are games that like actually I feel like you have like nowadays when you look at multiplayer games and MMOs, you have a lot of people that spectate. Where like back in the day, it wasn't really a thing unless you were sitting on the couch watching your friend playing the game. You know what I'm saying?
Man, let me tell you, I've sat and watched people play some boring ass games for far too long. Oh
my god, I have watched so many boring RPGs.
Remember? I have to bring it up. Do you remember Oblivion? Like, I know it doesn't seem like that long ago, but it was like forever ago.
Yeah.
And I would sit there, me and my buddy Mark. I won't mention last names just to blast him on this podcast, but like, fucking me and Mark would sit there and watch each other play Skyrim. Now, or not Skyrim, Oblivion. And Oblivion was one of those games, like it's sort of like Skyrim. Well, I guess it's sort of exactly like Skyrim, but
it's a lot of menus.
It's the predecessor. Yeah. And I mean, it's a lot of numbers. It's just, fucking not grinding, but like, doing missions. It's like you don't sit and play Oblivion for an hour. You sit and play Oblivion for 6 hours just to do anything.
Wow.
And we would sit there and watch each other fucking build characters and like, and not a peep of bitching, complaining. We were totally engulfed in the game.
Wow, no. See,
I think about that all the time of like how many games. Like we watched on speaking of N64, Harvest Moon, one of the greatest games ever fucking created.
Harvest Moon. You know what? I feel like
past the controller game for us.
Well, but I feel like that game in itself has such a huge following. Like I didn't realize how big of a cult following it has until I was seeing memes about it, and then I went and looked into it, and it's huge.
They got weird later on. I think honestly, and I know this is like fucking let me adjust my hipster glasses and shit, but like I really think it peaked. Like the Harvest Moon in 64 was just perfect, and like after that, it got sort of like weird. Like they turned it into like almost a dating simulator on like GameCube.
Yeah.
And like, it got away from like this perfect balance of like you could go find a girl or something, or you could farm, or you could like, you get to know people in the town, which I thought was interesting.
Well, that just
there was a fucking fairy that granted wishes once a year.
It transferred over to Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
Because that was the predecessor basically to Animal Crossing.
Yes, Animal Crossing is like the social version of
Harvest Moon.
Harvest Moon, yeah. Yes, like you can find people to talk to and like trade in between people. Games I could not really get into. I can't say I wouldn't get into it because I haven't played it. But
dude, I love there are people that love.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that really enjoy it.
Love Animal Crossing.
YouTube thinks people enjoy it so much that you can lock your screen and listen to people play.
There you go.
Not Harvest Moon, but
they
Animal
put a whole advertisement out about
Dude,
Animal Crossing.
I cannot deal with these YouTube ads anymore. Like, I listen to a lot of YouTube, and I'm one of those people that would benefit greatly from locking your screens. And I just don't want to dish out another fucking subscription. That's all it is, really. But like, they keep doing these ads that make me not want to buy it even more, because they're like, you can watch people play, this first person shooter, watch Call of Duty with your phone locked, and it's like, that makes no sense, YouTube.
Right. I don't want to do this.
Watch high level gameplay with your phone locked. It's like, I don't want to, high level. I don't know if you watch Twitch much, but like, when you watch high level people, they're not entertaining to listen to.
Well, I mean,
they're very in the zone.
I feel like there's, in order to have a good like intro to a stream, like I said, because this all revolves around multiplayer. We're talking about like watching and spectating and playing together and stuff like that. So like, a lot of people tie it in to watch them play it, to figure out what they should be doing and learning strategies based
That's why people watch our streams.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, all day, every day. But
high level gameplay.
High level gameplay. But like, so a lot of the times those dudes are just focused. Like it's really hard to talk and have a good balance between being able to whoop ass, which dude, I forget the dude. I forget the dude that's on YouTube that plays all the fighting games. I think it's like Maximilian or something like that.
No, you would know more than I don't watch that shit.
Yeah, he's fantastic. He'll sit there and call out combos as he's doing the combos. You know what I'm saying? Or like, they'll talk about how the guy basically did the infinite combo while he's playing the game, getting his ass beat. So like it's a lot of like good balance on being able to talk and be able to play very well.
Yeah. Which I can't do.
No, not
at all. I have mad respect for people who play video games and have interesting conversations at the same time, because I am not the one.
So, question. So, what do you think about some like games in our golden area of gaming? Because we're talking about multiplayer games. All right. So we went from sitting on the couch. We're talking about couch co-op. We're talking about like passing the controller. We haven't said anything about online games. So like,
I'm biased when it comes to this though. Like,
why is that?
Just because Gears of War was one of the greatest games that ever created.
See, yeah, but
the first one specifically, I understand. The second and third were trash.
I like the third one. So
the third redeemed itself a little bit, but not much.
Yeah. Well, and then like the recent one, don't get me wrong, the recent one is okay. It's not anything to brag about. It's not fantastic.
When they introduced Team Deathmatch into Gears of War, it ruined it.
Yeah.
I think and this is the same reason we talked about earlier. I think it was, were we recording when we talked about Battle Royale games?
No.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
If we did, I don't remember if we did, but if we did talk about it, that's what we were talking about earlier. Is like, I specifically like those games because it's adrenaline rush. Like, you have one life to live, you got to beat as much ass as you can during it, right?
Right.
So like, that was Gears of War, which I loved. Like the 5-man team, and the best part was that was before party chat.
Yes.
So you'd be playing, and then all of a sudden, like, your boy's like, "Oh shit!" And then cut mic. Nothing's going on. You knew that motherfucker was dead. And so it brought fear into your heart. And dude, you fucking played so hard. Like, I would get fucking like hyped on that game. Now, like I said, I was very high ranking in that game. That may have been one of those games that I played, back when professional gaming wasn't professional gaming. It was like, hey, I won a couple $100 in a tournament type of game. Like, that's what I used to play. Like,
yeah. So how many tourneys have you been to? Because like, I feel like there's a lot of tourneys for a lot of things. Like, I watch people do speed run tourneys.
Now online tournaments are like, in-person tournaments, because I've been to quite a few in-person like fighting game tournaments. Like, I did a lot of Smash tournaments.
Right.
And I did a few in-person. I did Gears of War at we played Gears 1 at the release of Gears 2. So when we went back when midnight launches was a thing.
Yeah.
We did a huge, everybody was staying outside because Gears 2 was like a big fucking deal. And then
Right.
it ended up being such a trash, disgusting game. Like it was
Yeah.
really sad. But anyway, I digress. My past trauma. But I did a tournament there and beat the fuck out of people. My local game stop. Like, all kinds of shit. Like I said, I didn't pay for, Xbox Live for years because
You were just basically winning for free.
well, yeah. Like I would pay my video games and my online service with the money that I won from shit from there.
Right.
Like, fuck, I still my dudes will remember that used to play Gears with me.
Mm-hmm.
I got an invite. Speaking of loyalty, if my friends ever have any loyalty problems, this right here solidifies my loyalty because I turned down a sponsored team.
Oh wow.
Because I refused because they wouldn't take my dudes. I was like, can we take a few, not everybody, but like I have a core group. I was like, can I take my core group with me? And they're like, nah, man, we can't do that. I was like, I'm not leaving my dudes. Sorry.
Right.
They went on to win a multi-million-dollar tournament about a year later.
That's crazy.
I could have been a hardcore professional gamer if I would have stuck with them. But my boys.
Hey, that's true loyalty, man. The homies come first. The homies always come first.
But other than that, Halo, I did a lot of Halo tournaments.
Yeah, I did a lot of online like Street Fighter tournaments, like when they would do the seasons and stuff, like when you would do like season 1, season 2, and you would have the objectives and then like the season tourneys. So I did a lot of that back in the day.
Did you ever go over some stranger's house and beat their ass because somebody said that they could beat your ass?
Oh, dude, I was all about that. Yeah, they'd be like, "Oh, bro, you can't beat me in Tekken." Word?
How many? Like back in the day where you could just go to a stranger's house and not worry about getting murdered because you knew you were about to bust him and his boys up with your team.
Yeah. Well,
out that house back when LAN parties were a thing instead of fucking online play.
We did a LAN party, I believe, for like Halo 3. Like we did a 24-hour LAN party. There is actually a picture on my Instagram of me in a Halo suit.
Really?
Yeah, I'm fully decked out in the Halo suit.
That's awesome.
Fully decked out in the Halo suit, holding bottles of Hennessy and Bailey's. Yeah. But yeah, we did a full LAN party and like played online.
So you're saying you got laid a lot, Will? Is what you're saying here?
I didn't get laid a lot back in the day. Y'all gotta understand. I am cool now, but back in the day, I was super nerdy. Like I was just along with the nerds as anybody else would be. But yeah,
I was giving Desiree shit the other day. I was realizing, what were we playing? Oh, I was talking about how I not only played in tournaments for Smash Bros, but I was like, I was a DDR kid. Like,
dude, no, I was a huge DDR guy. Like, love DDR.
I was like, you made a baby with me. I'm sad for you.
Yeah. Well, you know what? See, this is a reason why I wanted to talk about this, like multiplayer games, because like there's all different kind of communities at the dance community that they ended up showing up because DDR was a game that everybody loved. Like it was cool. It was either cool to really watch, and that was like a really big spectator game for me.
I need to get back into DDR. I lost 80 pounds on DDR when I originally played.
Really?
Yeah, that was the only reason I was skinny for any period of time in my life. I got in shape, like not crazy, but like I was skinny in high school because of that. What? And then I got into strength and conditioning shortly after.
I'm gonna blow your mind.
Yeah,
Round 1 has literally every DDR machine.
Really?
Like, yes, they have the one that has all the extreme songs, like the gold and white one.
Extreme sucked. The green one, right?
No, they have the gold and white one.
Okay.
Yeah, the one where like
one I was big on.
That's the one that has like everything that's hard. Like everything.
I used to be so good at that game. I'm sure I'd gas out so quick on it now.
Well, they have a really cool one too, like the modern like dance games. Where have you seen the one where people dance just on the pad and they like slide across the pad? It's like a really big pad. I forget what it's called.
I've seen the corner arrows, like where it's like diagonal.
I hate those.
I can't do those.
That blow. It fucks my head up all the time. But yeah, we'll have to go to round one time because that's a really cool place. It has literally every dancing game, and they have a bunch of like Japanese like implanted games there.
I
but yeah,
play the bongo one, or not the bongo one. What's the Japanese drum?
Oh, the one with the Japanese drum that you actually play? Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to do that.
They have one like that, like it's a simulator where you actually play the drums.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
So that's I actually play drums.
There you go.
Yeah,
so yeah.
Not well.
Yeah, there was a huge community for that. Like a lot of people don't realize that, Dance Dance Revolution became a thing because there was dance competitions for that. Like Steven, which we'll have to get Steven on here. We'll have to bring him on next episode. But Steven was actually ranked, I think, like number 15.
He wasn't one, because I knew the one guy who lived in Louisville.
No. We're talking about in the world though. Like he was like way high up in the world. Yeah. And I forget what he says.
One of the top dudes lived in Louisville, and he used to play at Laser Blaze.
Plays all the time. Yep.
Yeah, I remember Asian guy. I can't remember his name.
And he was fucking sweet.
Yeah, we called him the Asian Persuasion. I can't remember his name. But he was fucking cool as shit. I miss him.
Yeah. It's crazy it's crazy because like some people that you actually.
Oh, that's what it was. I told her I was on a laser tag league. I'm sorry. We brought up Laser Blaze, and my brain was like, that was the nerdy conversation I was having. I was like, babe, I've not only played, professional gaming. I was like, I was on a laser tag team. I was like, you had a baby with me. People used to think I wouldn't have sex.
But I mean, you gotta think about that. Laser tag was fun. I don't care what anybody says. Till this day, if I walk in a laser tag room, y'all all get in the business. All right. It's like I'm just letting you know now, Mike, you included. You get in the business too. Don't me. All right.
Listen, we can go to Laser Blaze. I still know the people who run that place.
Oh really?
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. I think Oni's still up there.
Okay.
Or Uno, I'm sorry. Not Oni. Oni left. Uno's up there. There's a man. He probably runs the whole place by now. It's been years since I've been up there. But we lived at that place. He has one leg. He runs Laser Blaze. I love him to death. We call him Uno. Yep. His I can't remember his actual name. I used to live up there. Every Wednesday, all day long. I like how we started multiplayer games and ended up on laser tag. Anyway,
well, we jumped around because like
this has been the most unorganized we've been in a while.
Well, we've been a little organized, but like it kind of leads back into like there's been such a big expansion of like different things to do as far as multiplayer. You know what I'm saying? Because you had like online tourneys, you had like things where they were in person. You had things where like you could sit on your couch and literally like have a tourney in your crib.
Oh yeah, I made on Halo. I'm gonna also brag again, like I haven't done several times during this podcast. I'm sorry, I'm making it about me.
No, you're good. You're good.
But do you remember Ogre 1 and Ogre 2?
I did.
Ogre 1 and Ogre 2 were big. For anybody who doesn't know, they were very high level Halo players. Well, they each had Ogre 1 and Ogre 2 were twins. They were brothers. And they had separate teams that they would play on MLG just to warm up and go against each other before they got on their big team, because they were part of do you remember who T Squared?
Yes, I remember T Squared. I do.
They were on the same team as T Squared. Okay. So I played Ogre 3, he was one of the best snipers. Or no, I'm sorry, not Ogre 3, Ogre 2. I'm sorry. Ogre 2 was one of the best snipers in the game on Halo. I made that man quit mid MLG match because I sniped his bitch ass so hard. Yes.
That's awesome.
Dude, I was all right. The things I was good at sniping around that time, I was a force to be reckoned with. I could ricochet a bullet around the side and hit you in the head. Like I could call bounce shots, like everything. It was nasty.
No, I was the noob in all those games. So I would literally either hit you with a tube or fuck you up about other things. Excuse me.
First person shooters was my shit, man.
No, I was more of an adventure guy, and like that's why I was more of like to sit down and pass the controller and play a game and follow the story, because that's definitely into learning about stories and stuff like that. Hence why I love Star Fox so much.
That's where I met Gino and everybody. Fucking we've been friends for 15 years from where we played Gears 1 together.
Yeah.
That's where we all met each other.
Well,
like,
you
got all the Chicago boys.
I was gonna say, yeah, you got those guys from Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frankie, fucking me and Frank. Frank was the only other dude. Frank was a cheater, by the way, and I hope he's listening right now. Fuck you, Frank, and your corner sniping bitch ass. But Frank was one of those people who me and him just butt heads, lovingly butt heads. We never, we did get really mad at each other a few times, but it was all in love most of the time. That we would just trash on each other for sniping, because he was definitely one of the better snipers in the game. It was him, me, and his little brother a little bit, but fucking, he's trash. Omar's pretty good now at Call of Duty, but he was trash as Gears.
See, I was never Gears. I was actually pretty good at, but the only like FPS that I used to rape face at was Call of Duty. Like Call of Duty was. I remember when Black Ops 2 came out and Black Ops. I was the guy.
Real good.
And Modern Warfare 2.
Weirdly enough,
I was
at sniping.
Did you?
Dude, awful. I could pick up Halo and bust everybody in the room with a sniper, but you put me on Call of Duty, I don't know what it was. It wasn't the physics, because it's not like it had any hardcore sniping physics. It was just, hold your breath, shoot the bullet.
Yeah.
But it didn't communicate with me like Halo did.
Well, Halo was very fast paced though too, and the thing about the old Call of Duty games, it wasn't as fast paced as they are now. They're super.
Maybe that's what it was. I wasn't campy. I couldn't camp.
Yeah, they're super fast paced. Yeah. And that's one thing I kind of regret that they made it a little more fast paced. It was really it's really hard to kind of keep up sometimes. But then again, I do appreciate that they kind of took in contention everybody wanting to change things, because I wasn't
Warzone's slow pace.
Warzone is slow pace, but I do give you this: like over time, we've watched these studios and these developers actually start to listen and get the gamer community involved in doing tweaks and changing things. And that's another thing that's come from multiplayer, is that we have more in-depth things that have changed within games.
Yeah, the modder community has been huge for changing anything.
Yeah.
Shit, the modder community created what was it? World War Z or no? What's the Daisy? Daisy, which was huge. Daisy was part of starting PUBG, which was one of the first battle royale games. So still in the same category. You're welcome. Keeping it to multiplayer games.
There you go.
But yeah, modders started that. I'm pretty sure it'd have to be a modder from that community that started PUBG. Yeah, because it was the same playground.
See, I can't get down with PUBG. I can get, as much as I hate that I'm about to say this. Like, I really don't want to say this, but I can get down with Fortnite. Like, Fortnite's pretty cool.
Fortnite, like for the kids, Fortnite.
And I can get down with Apex Legends. Like, I like Apex.
I do like Apex.
Apex is really good, but I just like Warzone for me is really hard to understand. And I guess because it is like when you're playing those Apex Legends and you're playing those Fortnites, they are geared more towards of an arcadey feel. You know what I'm saying? Whereas
yeah. Well, Fortnite's not, but
no,
Apex is.
Yeah. Apex is definitely more of an arcadey feel. Whereas like Warzone, it's like you're running for your life, like literally running to get to the circle.
Real deal cheese shit. You got those fucking Scrandies sitting in the gas waiting to stab you in the back as you run with the circle.
Yeah. that shit.
Real nitty-gritty.
That shit gets hard, man. That shit gets hard.
Oh, Gino's the guy to talk about Warzone, man. That dude fucking lives and breathes that game.
We'll have to bring Gino on and have him.
I would love to get Gino on. He swears that he will never come on the podcast.
Does he really?
I just think he doesn't think that he will be able to talk. I mean, sorry guys, that was me blowing my fucking pop filter off my laptop.
Yeah, all right.
The ghetto rig finally gave out.
Yes.
I kept tapping stuff. It was my fault. So I
Well,
probably sound a little bit more raw now.
in your defense, you just got a new setup, and for everybody, we haven't really announced that, but Mike has finally got a new setup on the mic.
Yes, so I don't have to talk through my cell phone now.
Yeah, which is nice. So
yeah, well, it wasn't my cell phone. What, my Xbox headset? That's what it was.
I mean, your Xbox headset sounded good though. It didn't sound horrible.
It wasn't bad.
It was pretty solid. But yeah, I honestly think that like when we to wrap this up because we're at an hour, then kind of
ramblings. I hope someone enjoyed this.
It's been fantastic. Like we've definitely covered a lot of ground in the multiplayer. Like
we've covered something.
Yeah, we've covered a lot. But like
we had porn games in there at one point. And...
I mean, there's been an audience for all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So
games have been everywhere, man.
Yeah, games have touched literally everything.
The Sims, you can just live on the Sims.
Dude,
I don't even consider the game done.
You can just live on the Sims and live. like that's the thing. Like there's
have to drag us down one more rabbit hole before we go. I have a confession. I want to know if you're just as horrible as a person as I am.
Did you take the ladder out the pool?
Oh, well, obviously that, but that's not. No, I would trap people in the room and fill it full of chairs with the fireplace.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was a disgusting human being. But
that's
not.
No, that's
a different point.
That's a new level. That's a whole.
When you were younger, did you go to someone's house just to strictly play a game that they owned?
Yes.
Like no attachment. You don't know this person anymore.
Like yes. There was a guy that had the Star Fox Adventure games.
Yeah.
I was a huge
ones for GameCube.
Okay, so let me explain.
That's what talking about.
Do you remember when they put out Sonic for the GameCube and made it exclusive to the GameCube? Right?
Yeah, with the chows, baby. Fucking
the fucking chows, bro. What you mean? That game, that was one of the games, and then he had the Mortal Kombat that was good. Armageddon, is that what it was? Armageddon.
I don't remember.
Armageddon was fucking amazing. So Armageddon, and then he had Star Fox Adventures.
Yeah.
And then I sorely regretted the decision to go over to play that game because I realized how bad that game was.
Yeah.
So like it was just really to go over to play Smash because he had Melee. He had Melee. He had Sonic, and he had that game.
See, at least you have like a good list. I have a very vivid memory of I was like in elementary school, and it was back when I was poor, and fucking I went over this man's house. He invited me over for a pool party.
Yeah.
Right? Kid from school, super excited to go. I did not get in that pool. I went into his house and he had this game called Around the World in 80 Days on his computer. Do you remember that?
Dude, that's the shit. That game was the shit.
I kid you not. I played this game the whole time and I don't even think I talked to that kid. Like, I don't even think we hung out. I remember I stayed the night over his house. I remember brushing my teeth and then going home, and that was it. Other than playing that game, I still hate myself to this day over that night.
Wow.
Such a horrible person.
Mike, that's rough, man. Why you do that man like that?
Listen, I moved shortly after. We've never seen each other again. It's fine. I do wonder sometimes if he thinks about that. It's like, remember that fucking fat kid that came over here and played Around the World in 80 Days and didn't even talk to him?
I'm pretty sure it comes up in conversation maybe once or twice.
It's got at least once.
Yeah, at least once. No, I mean, but we were also the household where kids would come over and play the video games. Like, you know how you had the neighborhood mom?
Oh yeah.
My mom was always the neighborhood mom. So shout out to my mom for being a very wonderful person.
Right.
But like she was always the one that
mom.
Yes, you are fantastic. But yeah, so like kids would come over, and that's where we actually learned how to do a lot of like the verses, the couch co-op and stuff like that, because they would just hang out at our house. She would make snacks.
Your mom ever have to throw somebody out because they got salty?
We've thrown a lot of people out of our house. Like a lot of people.
We've had that before, yeah. Someone gets escorted out the house because they got salty about losing.
There's been a lot of Mario Party matches that ended up being like,
dude, Mario Party ended up in some fights.
I mean, Mario Party has broken up friendships.
Oh yeah,
like true friendships. Dude.
I don't know if I told this story on the podcast, but did I ever tell you where I tore the arms off of a chair over Tekken?
Yeah, over Tekken. Yeah. You told the story to everybody.
I raged out at that game. Fuck Paul and fuck his stupid hair.
Hey, bro, Paul's the truth.
Fuck that
Okay,
man.
Paul
Fuck
is the fucking truth. All right. Phoenix Smasher is one of the greatest moves of all time. But Law has one of the greatest moves of all time where he kicks the shit out of you.
Mm-hmm.
So he has the kick.
Boost you across the fucking map.
Yeah, throws you across the map. Yeah. So yeah.
Never forget. Rip that chair.
Bro. so to wrap it up, I mean, just definitely multiplayer games have had a really big hand in changing the landscape of gaming. Like I said, we've talked about so much things. We've gone to like different types of genres that have been changed by multiplayer. We've talked about MMOs that we've played. Like the one we haven't talked about.
We didn't talk about any MMOs, did we?
Well, we talked about Code Vein that was mentioned in there. A couple of them. Skyrim. I mean, Skyrim is technically.
I would have loved to talk about WoW and my 24-hour experience with it.
Oh, you have a story about WoW? Because I have a story about WoW too.
Yeah, do you really?
I really do.
You want to go first? Do you want me to go first? Mine's short.
You go first. We got 10 minutes left. Go ahead. Knock it out.
Yeah, well, we've had ramblings through this whole thing. We might as well get one multiplayer or MMO game in there.
Yeah.
So my buddy Mark, once again, he was the dude that had MMO games. Like we had Diablo and stuff like that. I guess Diablo wasn't MMO, but anyway.
See, I told you.
I know your brain thinks that, but I guess. Was it more MMO on D2? D2 was sort of MMO-y.
I feel like D2 was the MMO of everything. Like, because even
you could have more than 4 people. Like now, you can't really have more than 4 people in a room.
Right, and that's why I said it's gone more the multiplayer route, like co-op.
But you used to be able, like, because we ran rooms to where we were those gross people that would say we would dupe your items and then we'd dip out the game and take your shit.
Oh, you're an asshole.
I do have to say I've done that once or twice.
You guys,
but I mean, in all honesty, if you were trying to dupe your weapons and you're getting fucked like that anyway, you deserved it. So I mean, just saying. But anyway, back to my MMO thing. So Mark had fucking WoW, and thank Christ I got to play it over his house before I played it at mine. Because I would be 400 pounds sitting somewhere in a chair right now, never leaving my home.
Jesus Christ.
Billy would not be a part of it because that game, dude, I sat down for what I thought was only a few hours. I played WoW for a 24-hour straight band of I played a warlock, an undead warlock that I was super excited about. And then when I realized that I've been killing, like, I think I killed warthogs for 24 hours.
Wow.
Like, just grinding, fucking doing missions, stuff like that. I looked up and I was like, oh, hey, it's still 5 o'clock. I've only been playing for an hour. And I looked out and Mark's fucking asleep. And sitting there because we've played until 5 o'clock the next day. At the same exact time. He's just been watching me. This is what I'm talking about. We had this relationship where you could just sit on the couch and watch each other play the most boring games in the world and just not say a word.
That's crazy.
We'll be fun with it.
See, but like I don't think I could do that. Like with WoW, so I played WoW. We were playing WoW with a friend. I was at his house. He had 2 computers set up. His parents had a computer upstairs. And we had a computer downstairs. Yeah. And I would go upstairs and play on that computer because they would go upstairs and go to bed. So at nighttime, I would just have to be quiet, but we would play WoW. So he would play downstairs. I would play upstairs. I don't know what type of monster internet that they had. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
But my experience being on there, we played WoW for like a month straight. And it was like you got out of school, we went and played WoW. You got to the weekend, that's all you did.
You alliance or horde, bro?
Huh?
You alliance or horde, bro?
For
the horde. For the horde.
I was like,
we could have been friends, Will.
That's what I was gonna feel like. I was gonna say, I know you're
right. Guys, we did this for a year. The podcast has been great.
You suck it up. It's okay. You don't play no more. But like,
I only played for 24 hours. Like I have some allegiance.
Yeah, we played for like a month, dude. And like, I felt like I've lost time playing that game because I would literally walk out of his house. Like I would stay the whole weekend over his house. My parents wouldn't give a shit because he was like right up the street. Yeah. But I would stay whole weekend. So like after I come out the house playing that game, it would be like their son I feel like a vampire. I can't believe there's human like interaction. So I stopped playing it. But then after I stopped playing it, I shortly picked up League of Legends, and that just took over. That just took over my life. Because at that point, I had a laptop, and I just played
Still have never played League of Legends. I have no idea what it is.
Dude,
is that like Smite?
It's similar to Smite. It's more
Smite.
like your traditional, like, you know, click, fight type deal.
No.
It's changed on the consoles because you can play it on the consoles now, but like it's more like you're straight out like we're just gonna click this shit out until we win, you know.
God, yeah, wow, man. I wonder how many people like. Is that still a game that's around? Like, do people?
Dude, WoW still has a huge community. WoW is one of those communities that will never die. WoW.
I haven't heard of like a new update for WoW.
StarCraft. Even though StarCraft hasn't released a game in I don't know how fucking long.
Yeah, those people still play that game.
No, those people will never let that game go.
No,
like, that game is amazing. And don't get me wrong, that game is actually amazing.
Yeah, I've never played StarCraft.
It's fine. It's fine. Yeah. I wish one MMO that I wish that really took off was Star Trek Online. Like it took off. It was a very big MMO where you could like build your own ship and fly around. But I don't think it stayed around very long.
You know what I would have liked? Did you ever play the DC Heroes?
DC Universe? Yeah.
Yeah. That game could have been great. They just didn't do it very well.
They didn't really update it to be fantastic. Like
having super speed on that game. It was so much fun.
Oh, dude, I was literally the Green Arrow's protege. Like it was to a T. It was almost a carbon copy. It was pretty bad. But that, and then I was also a Martian Manhunter fan from that game. So I did a lot of his powers too as well. It's like a mixture of the two.
Green Arrow meets Martian Manhunter.
This is all green at the time. You know how I am about my guy. Like I don't care what y'all can give all the Green Arrow and Hawkeye hate that you want, but those dudes are amazing to me.
Hawkeye's still trash.
Hawkeye is trash. Like don't
give me Green Arrow.
Like he's a trash person.
Yeah.
I just feel like that. He's a trash person because he's done some shitty things, but at the same time, he's still a really cool person because he trained Kate Bishop, and during that whole span, it's a very good Clint. It's a very good Clint. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't know. I give him his props. He's a 50-50 character for me. But Green Arrow, you say anything about my dude, I'll fight you.
Green Arrow. Every time I picture Green Arrow, I know Green Arrow has been rewritten to be more badass, but I can't picture him without that punching glove arrow.
I mean, that's a ball ass arrow. Okay, that was that was my special on DC Universe was the punch glove.
Dude, I looked not to spoil it or anything, but I have been looking for something special for you to make with my 3D printer now that I'm getting the hang of it. And I tried to find, for the life of me, that punching glove.
Did you?
I've been looking so hard because I was like, I'm just gonna drop it on this table when I get there and be like, I got you a present,
bro. That will become
a life-size punching bag.
That will become the centerpiece of my house. like
I want it so bad.
It is getting a prominent spot. Like when you walk in, that is the first thing you're gonna notice.
Yeah, but I'm gonna find you something good. I don't know what I'm gonna make. I'm sort of limited right now, but
well,
I'm excited.
So MMOs.
Yes, MMOs. We talked about a thing.
So we've talked about couch. Jesus Christ, there's so much.
Don't even go back through. We're gonna fall in some fucking hole to fall into.
Here we go.
Talk for another hour.
So couch co-op, online co-op, versus tourneys. Like
Mike bragged about his video game prowess for a little bit. He lived in his glory days that he definitely does not have any kind of skill whatsoever to shadow that. I'm so trash at games anymore. It sucks.
Yeah, don't you feel sad about like what happens? Because you look at your prominence and your height for when you were good, and now it's kind of like, I just play games for fun, but at the time I could fuck you up.
I watched a clip the other day because I have saved clips. We had a YouTube thing for a little bit. I think it might still be on there. But I was watching the clip and I was like, God, look how fast my snapshots were. I don't know if you know what snapshots was. It's like when it was sort of like quick scoping. I guess it would be quick scoping now. Yeah, that's the new word for it. I used to call it snapshots, but
You know what though? All you damn quick scopers, I swear, like that in Modern Warfare was the absolute worst. I wanted to punch everybody in the face.
Oh, dude, I was disgusting.
I hated it.
I could hit you. I'd fight
Hated it.
people. So I was trash the first couple months I was on Gears of War, only for the fact that I would use nothing but the sniper. So I got so good at the sniper, I could shotgun battle you with the sniper and blow your fucking brains out before you could kill me. Like it was so I could blind fire across the map, and I never did use a dot. Not to rub in my prowess anymore, but I never used a dot. I was in the top 10 snipers of the world. Never used a dot. Never used nothing, never cheated. Not a damn thing. Just a grid system in my head, baby.
That's not even fair.
Just a grid system in my head, and I can't do it anymore to save my life.
Not even fucking fair. All right, because I was a guy out here struggling in these streets.
It's because you had a life, Will. You did things other than come home and turn your Xbox on.
I beg to differ. I was pretty much the kid.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
I was pretty much that kid that did that a lot, like a lot too.
Oh, I learned the ins and outs, man. I don't know what it was. I just zoned in. Anyway, enough bragging. I'm sorry. I don't.
We're at hour 15.
I say bragging now. It's just sad. I'm sort of like that old dude talking about when he used to fight.
In my day, we used to give him the old razzle dazzle.
I could have been a contender. I could have been somebody.
I turned around and gave her the shimmy shake. What you talking about?
I'm turning quickly into like the guy who could have been pro and never made it.
Look, you know what's funny? My mom, I realized that I am slowly starting to like older people fashion because my mom gave me some really nice like dress boots, and I was like, ooh, I'm about to be new boot goofing. New boot goofing, baby.
Tell me the next thing you're gonna get is a fanny pack, and you be that old head fucking walking around with the fanny pack and the Bluetooth earpiece.
The hipster in me screamed. It was like, yes, like the hipster just lost control. So they're really nice boots. But like I realized that I'm getting old because I like shoes like that now. And like when I was like 22 or 23, you couldn't find me in a pair of those to save your life.
I'm gonna have to check them out.
I had to send you a picture of them, but they're really nice. They're like full on new boot goofing. I can dig it. I can dig it.
God, let's end this so we can end these people suffering.
Yes. All right, guy. Run it down, my man.
Oh my God. If you want to, you can find us on Facebook. I wouldn't even look on YouTube or anything. Just fucking, we're on Facebook. What? Instagram. Why So Nerdy podcast. After listening to this, you can get on our Patreon and we won't send you anything. You don't have to listen to us anymore. You pay us $2, you'll never hear from us again.
You just give us that too much. No, but yeah, if you guys want to support us, hop on Patreon.
Yes, please. Yeah, we got cool stuff. I hate to do this because I do this a lot, but I like to get excited before I do anything. So I talk about things I'll never do, but I might be once I get better at this 3D printing thing, I'm gonna probably start printing some stuff out and we can start doing some giveaways.
I'm ready for it.
Yeah. So once I get better, because I don't want to send out like, hey, here's my ugly ass, right now I'm building a penguin for my girlfriend.
There you go.
It's like, here's my ugly penguin that she's gonna put in her office because she loves me, but nobody else would want this in their office. But once I get good, we'll start putting shit out.
Yeah, we definitely have to do like some logo stuff.
Yeah. Oh, and eventually we'll get a TikTok running. We have it up. You guys can add us on there. We don't have any videos yet.
We have some videos.
Will's the talent, and I haven't put anything out. So
I am not the talent. Mike has very good ideas. We just have to go over them and get them out. It is now of the age where it's warm and people have.
I'm the comedy. You're the talent.
There you go. There you go.
You have the filming and knowledge, and I got the stupid idea that like make this cool, Will.
Okay. All right. We do have a Twitter. We have that. And I think
how have we fucked up the end tag? We're falling apart today.
I feel like we just haven't been able to record in a long time. We've been on schedule.
We recorded last week.
Well, but no, like I'm talking about we've been on schedule. Like we have not we have not missed a beat, so we're doing pretty
We
good.
got an extra episode this week.
Yeah, suck it, science. Yeah.
You're welcome, boys and girls.
But yes, guys, if you want to go check us out, check out those social handles.
Please do.
Yes. We love you guys. We'll catch you later and enjoy.
Peace. Try to find some thread of common knowledge throughout this episode.
It was fun.
I had a blast.
Bye.